Alright, welcome to my build in public log. Let's get into it. First of all, I'm going to change the format of these videos. It's going to start with my random story for the day. Then I'm going to give an update on what I've been doing, how's it going, or maybe I'm going to launch one of my projects, and then I'm going to end with showing questions, comments, hate mail, whatever have you at the end. So let's jump into it. So first of all, for my random story for today, I'm a little embarrassed to say this, but so the sun came out here in central London. It ended up being warmer than it's been the last week. You know, it's Sunday, and we're like, let's get out and try to do something relaxing, something that's cheap. We're trying to save money right now because Christmas is coming up, and we're like, let's go to the farm. So my neighborhood has a farm here in central London. It's pretty fucking weird. There's like it's like a big community garden. There's all these animals. You go there and you see like skyscrapers. So it's very surreal to be in central London, but it's like a farm. There's sheep, like goats, donkeys, ducks, all sorts of stuff. Chickens and huge gardens with tons of stuff growing. You could buy some stuff. It's so surreal. So we went there, especially to see new donkeys. They now have kind of baby donkeys. It's really chill, really relaxing. You go in there, and there wasn't anyone really in there yesterday for some odd reason. So you walk right up to the goats, and they're used to humans. You get to pet them freely, like no one cares, no one's there to bother you. You pet the donkeys, you hang out with the animals. It's really cool. So we went through the whole thing, and we were kind of at the end. We had looked at like the ferrets and the chickens and hung out with the birds, and we were standing there looking at the sheep, or what the fuck were we looking at? I was looking at the sheep or something, and I looked down and I saw this plant. It's like, what is this plant right here? This looks interesting. And I reached for it and I grabbed it with my hand to like rub it like this. And my partner, she's like, what are you doing? Don't do that. And I was like, what? Wait a minute. Why does it hurt so much? She's like, do you know what you just touched? I said, no, I was wondering what the hell this plant was. She's like, that's stinging nettle. And I went, oh, what does that mean? And then it started to burn my hand. And I was like, oh my God, it burns. She's like, it's stinging nettle. You cannot touch that. What are you doing? Don't you know what that is? I said, no, I don't know what that is. Obviously, I don't know what that is. Why would I be touching it? And all day my hand hurt. Like, seriously, it really stings. I see now why it's called stinging nettle. So, yeah. All right, so moving on. I just wanted to point something out. Let's get into business. I finally hit 100 subscribers for my newsletter. A lot of people keep unsubscribing. Finally hit 100 subscribers. Where have the recent subscribers come from? I am about to hit week 5 for my 25 projects in 25 weeks challenge. I am attempting to, well, I have a goal. My goal is by the end of 25 weeks to have not 100 subscribers, but 10,000 subscribers. That's right. 10,000 or plus. That's fine if it's more. So what is that, like 100x? And I want regular revenue where I don't need to pick up any more freelance work. It's fine if I'm not like rich and making as much money as I used to in tech, but I need to be making regular money, not doing any freelance, not needing to go find a job. So that is the goal. And as you can see, so I've done four projects, which I'll get into. You could see it's not going well. So let's dig into the results of the last project. This was last week's project, so this is a review of it. It was Paul Graham Ipsum. What the hell is Paul Graham Ipsum? It's a funny little take on lorem ipsum, like placeholder text when you're building a site. I have a funny tagline, lorem ipsum for founders who ship. So what did I do? I fed this thing all upon Paul Graham's essays to spit out funny placeholder text in his voice. And it really looks like text. Actually, I had a really good designer that I know and worked with. He was like, yeah, you have to use that because it stands out and you can see that it's fake. Like if it looks too real, it's not good for stakeholders because they think it's like a real thing. I don't know. He actually broke down why you should use lorem ipsum, which was really fascinating to hear a designer's take, which made me really happy to actually hear someone say like, well, there's a reason why it looks ugly and fake. Pretty interesting, but this is just a funny thing I did. It actually uses his words and it kind of looks real, and you read it and you're like, oh wait, that's like nonsense. But it's the idea is that it's nonsense in his voice. So shout out to Paul Graham. I'm a huge fan. I actually tweeted this at him, but no response. So anyways, it's not going well. This is probably my weakest project so far out of 4. This is pretty. This one and another one are really, really weak ones. Didn't do well. This did get some comments. A lot of people had comments, especially on LinkedIn. This did pretty well, but did not go well. So what have I been working on? I'm working really, 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 really hard on not next week's, but the one 2 weeks from now. It's going to be a big one, much more, much more involved than some of these past ones I've done. It is going to be for Christmas. I'll drop a little teaser. It's for Christmas. It'll be fun. It will be hopefully it'll be an interactive thing that you do with other people. So I'll leave it at that. It is proving to be very, very, very hard technically. I spent a week and I still don't have it functional and working right. So it's really, really, really hard. It's very ambitious what I'm trying to do. So I'm hoping I can get that working this week. Okay, so the other thing I've spent like all fucking weekend on was I didn't work on that project. I didn't even work on the one I'm launching tomorrow, which you'll understand what this hat is about tomorrow. Why is this not going well? How can I make this go well? And the truth is, I am doing something really stupid. In hindsight, I'm like, yeah, why am I being so retarded? And to be completely honest, this channel is going to change quite a bit because everything I'm doing here is going to change. Even probably the newsletter landing page will change. It is so like cold. It's just like, here's some websites. Here's a brutalistic design. Here's a little blurb about the projects. I think the only way to be successful, and I'm going to show you something very interesting right now. I have weirdly separated myself, like my real weird, wacky personality, because I'm actually kind of a weird person, because I've lived a weird, just out of pure random chance, I've lived a pretty kind of unusual, privileged life. I have like a weird background that a lot of people in tech don't even have, and when I release a project, like one of these projects, it's just like, here's this thing I built. And there's not really like a story behind it. Like, why did I build it? I'm not tying this story into like my story. Like I just announce it and put it out there and it goes nowhere. And I'm not like tying it to this, like, and telling the story of why I came up with that idea. Why did I do this? Like there's actual stories and reasons behind me building these things, and I'm not stupidly not putting it out there. And let me show you something. I posted this 2 days ago on Threads, and I've probably once a month I go viral. I go, by viral I mean like 50,000 to 1.5 million views and like, you know, thousands of likes, hundreds of comments. Like I go viral all the time, but it's never for my work because it's just like, here's the thing I built and I'm a creator and just go see my thing. And I'm not doing this with the things I'm launching. And so I don't know. I did a lot of iterating, a lot of thinking, chatting with AI, chatting with all the AIs about this, chatting with my partner, chatting with other people in real life about like, why do I go viral with shit like this, but not with my stuff? And we all kind of came to the conclusion, which is freaky to say because it's AIs as well, is you actually are pretty interesting. You have a weird, interesting take on things. You have lived a kind of pretty weird life. You have a really weird background. Go tell us the story behind you building these things. What are you doing? Like, of course you're not going anywhere. This really happened. So I recently stumbled into a dive bar / pub late night. This woman running the bar was an older woman. She told us how she has ran the bar for over 50 years and has lived upstairs above the pub all this time. I asked her, what was the funnest time in the last 50 years? She said, the 90s, 1990s. The 90s, people were the nicest. This surprised the hell out of me. What were pubs like in the 90s? And I was so surprised. I was like, the 90s? Really? I thought she would say something different. And this woman, man, she looked like she's been through it. She looked like she probably has a pretty bad drinking problem. You could tell she was really drunk and, just kind of barely on the verge of like collapsing and going to sleep. You could tell she has a drinking problem. Kind of sad, but it's very interesting. Her response, I was really taken back. It was like, oh. So all I did was share this story. I told a real story, really insight. I truly asked a question. This wasn't, my intention was not engagement bait. Like this is really sincere, and it's really, I obviously didn't use AI to write this. I mean, I hope that's obvious by my shit writing. And look at this. The response was like so overwhelming. 1,000 likes, almost 1,000, over 500 comments, like 71,000 views. I mean, if I can get this attention, and I've done this multiple times, by the way. I've gotten hundreds of thousands. One post I had 1.5 million views on here. If I can craft the same story and do the same authentic thing for the things I'm posting and explaining, like, why did I choose this idea for my project, then maybe I'll actually make my goal here. And that's what I want this channel to be about, is this plus how I built it and why. So it's like, why did I build it? How did I build it? What were the results? That is like the channel in a nutshell. And the newsletter is about just, here's a URL, but like, I need to actually craft that same story of like, here is like why I'm building the newsletter. Here's why you should subscribe to the newsletter, because I've been on the internet since I was a little kid, since 1995. I really know the internet. I've worked in tech for almost 20 years. I know the internet. I've been around from the beginning. I saw the beginning from my family. I've been all over the world. I really have like insightful views on things. Here are URLs I really think are interesting, and here's why. I need to pivot the newsletter to be that. Like, follow along the journey. This is my journey of trying to showcase that the old internet is still alive and well. It's just buried under a mountain of shit. Like, here, I've literally spent years scouring the internet, finding all these URLs. Like, go on this journey with me. I need to make the newsletter about that. I need to repeat this for everything I launch. And you're not going to go viral every time. I don't think that's really possible unless you're like Elon Musk. Then at that kind of level, then almost everything you post is viral. That's the plan. That's what I'm doing moving forward. So what do you think? And if you went to pubs in the 90s, I'm curious what you think too. I loved all the comments. It was a very interesting read. I read like half of them, and then it was like overwhelming. It was like 600 of these. This is a lot, but I read about half of them. What do you think of this idea? Is this horrible? Like, are you going to subscribe? Are you going to continue to watch? What do you want me to talk about? I have a lot of weird stories. As I said, I've had kind of an interesting background, and why not share that with the world? Stay tuned. I'm launching my 5th project tomorrow, and you'll know more about this silly hat that I'm wearing. So that's it for today. See you tomorrow.